Clear the decks, Tina. We're coming in. This refurbished landing gear may be a little swirly.
Roger, Blue Earth. Hangar bay clear for landing.
The Blue Earth makes a perfect spy plane. Her global sensors ought to show us what the spider crabs are up to.
But the data won't do us any good till it's analyzed by the master computer, which is exactly what I plan to do now.
Forget the computer. Isn't there someone you want to see? Go on, leave the boring stuff to us.
Blade. My name is Blade. My sister's favorite flower is amaryllis. I find it so hard to remember things like that. How long will it be before I forget everything?
He's getting worse, isn't he? Isn't there some way to stop his memory from deteriorating?
None we've found. We know so few of the brain's secrets. With all our wonderful technology, we're still like babes wandering in the woods.
At this rate, will he forget next? What happens if he forgets who we are? Or even worse, what side he's supposed to be fighting on?
There's been no improvement, Star.
So I see.
This is a surprise. I thought O'Rourke's squadron had been, well...
Decimated? Yes, we have been, sir. But that doesn't mean those of us left can keep fighting the enemy. And with their position on the space ring so loosely defended at the moment, the time to strike is now.
These commandos have come seeking our help for an attack on the enemy. He's right about the space ring. That scanning flight by the Blue Earth shows that most of the spider crabs have descended to the planet, where they've fanned out over every landmass and now appear to be actually transforming themselves into spore trees.
Something's about to happen, isn't it?
All this activity may indicate that the final phase of the invasion is about to begin. There's no time to lose.
The only way we're going to stop them is by destroying their base on the far side of the moon.
Easier said than done with the Blue Earth's catapult out of operation.
We've barely got enough boost to breach the atmosphere, let alone get to the moon.
But if we recapture the orbital ring, with all its spaceports, and launch the Blue Earth from there...
Oh, well, of course, that's a horse of a different color.
The aliens have built a giant elevator for transporting heavy equipment from the space ring to Earth. If we could use it to gain access to the space ring and secure a spaceport, the Blue Earth would be in easy range of the moon. There are 8 spaceports. All we have to do is secure one of them. It's a risky plan, but workable. Just the type of mission our old friend O'Rourke thrived on. And if worse comes to worse and the spore trees start taking over the planet, the space ring could end up being our last refuge.
You're right, Commander.
We'll take the fight to them. They won't be expecting that. I like it.
I'm with you there, Maggie. It's terrific. We're finally going to get some payback time.
And they'll pay dearly.
Maggie, you'll be in charge of restoring the space ring's communications. We'll be needing that.
Will do.
Needless to say, there's no time to lose, so I want you all ready to move out within the hour.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing?
So that's Blade.
If you don't mind, Commander, I'd sure like to come along for the ride.
But Blade, you're in that ship.
The Teknoman's as good as another battalion. Welcome to the party, boyo.
No, Blade, you mustn't.
I have to, Star. I can't just sit around doing nothing. Gotta use the time I have left.
Well, soldier boys, ready to raise a rumpus?
You have done your duty well, Spider Mother. Your offspring now swarm across the face of the planet below. All this time you have been here working tirelessly to fulfill your part of the plan. Lord Darkon will be pleased. Your job is done. The time has come to release you from your confinement. That's right. Feed on your children. Fill yourself with their life forces. You'll have need of it very soon now.
We can really ride this freight elevator up to the space ring, just like that?
The spider crabs were supposed to have put it out of action, but they didn't do a very good job of it. We managed to restore it to a sort of rudimentary operation. Of course, they don't know that. That's why they've left it unguarded. So we've got surprise on our side, but once they know we're up there, it's going to get lively.
Listen, Pegasus, your master's had a hard time lately. I want you to function smoothly and take care of him, all right?
Affirmative.
Okay, Blade, you don't have to worry about a thing. I tweaked all of his systems, and Pegasus is 100%.
Whatever happens, please don't transform into Teknoman. Balzac and Ringo will be there to carry the load.
Have you had any training with an electro-dot cannon?
I know this gun backwards and forwards. Don't worry about me.
It's just that I know you're not a professional trooper, Angela. It might be safer for you to stay in the center of the column. Angela? Angela, are you listening?
8th floor, notions and lingerie.
Ringo, put a cork in it.
Sword.
Good. I knew you'd come, Blade. I'm waiting for you.
Looks good. We're coming up on spaceports 1 and 2, and so far everything checks out all clear. Uh-oh. Man out! Well, now, you didn't want it to be too easy, did you, lads? Fire darts! Take cover!
Nice work, fellas. Remind me not to get in the way of those flying knitting needles of yours.
Funny, I would have expected a lot more resistance than 3 lousy spider crabs, especially up here in the space ring.
Well, I, for one, am not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Come on, let's get to that spaceport and reestablish communications with Commander Jameson.
Lead the way, darling.
They're approaching Spaceport 1. Only minimal resistance so far.
Keep your fingers crossed. Devils, they've destroyed it. Number 2 has been knocked out as well.
Is it fixable, Maggie?
Hard to say. But look, this shows Spaceport 3 still functioning. That's 3 down. I'm 1 step ahead of you, Blade. I suggest you stop me before you run out of spaceports.
She beat us to it. Where's the next one?
Number 4's out, but 5 and 6 are still operable. Wait, where are you going?
Blade!
He's off and running. Ringo, you and Star stay here and help Maggie restore communications. I'll cover Blade.
Gotcha.
Take care of him, Balzac.
I'll leave 4 of my boys here in case any more spider crabs show up. Me and the rest will go with Blade. Come on, lads.
Hold on, not so fast, Milo. I'm coming with you.
No, Angela, you stay here with the others.
I said I'm coming.
But why, lass?
There's something I have to ask Blade. Blade,
Yeah, what is it?
tell me about the time you spent with him.
Who?
Miles O'Rourke. I want to know what he was like during the time he was with you.
O'Rourke.
He was very fond of you. He often mentions your name. It's crazy, but I like talking about him. I suppose because it gives me the feeling that he's still here.
So you'd be after calling this mission a success, would you? Well, all I know is I lost 3 fine young men today, whose families won't ever see them again. We decimated the enemy, that's true. So militarily we're a success. But do you think those 3 families feel the same way? War isn't numbers, Blade, it's people. It's people. Never forget that.
You did your best, sir. In spite of your losses, I think you are a success as a soldier and as a man.
Thanks, lad. And thanks for listening to the ramblings of an old soldier.
Miles and I, we were everything to each other. Well, at least he was everything to me. As much as he loved me, there was always the war calling him away. He always left before dawn while I was still asleep, leaving me a gun on the nightstand for protection and as a sign that he'd be back. How often I would wake up to find myself alone. There wasn't much comfort in the cold steel of that gun. There was nothing to do but wait for him to come back. Until the day arrived when I knew he'd never come back. My life as I had lived it lost its meaning. I'd always been a bystander, a civilian. Now I realized that if his life was to have meant anything, it was up to me to continue the fight, to follow him into the inferno. I have to come with you. There's nothing left for me here. That day, for the first time, I picked up the gun he used to leave for me on the nightstand. And I've been fighting his war ever since.
O'Rourke. O'Rourke.
I never got to say goodbye to him, but you were there at his last battle. Please, Blade, I want to know what it was like the last time you faced the enemy.
Miles O'Rourke. Somehow I feel like I should know that name, but is this another memory I've lost?
Blade, what is it? What's wrong?
I'm sorry, I don't remember him.
What? But that's impossible. You must.
Maggie! It's all right. Don't these animals have any respect for state-of-the-art hardware? It's criminal what they've done, and if I ever find the creeps that did it, watch out!
I wonder how Blade's doing.
You're saying that you could conceivably forget everything someday?
I don't know, it just seems like every day a little more slips away. What'll I do if I forget what I'm fighting for? Or who I'm fighting? I sometimes think the only thing keeping me going is my hatred of Darkon and his followers. If I forgot that, I'd be lost.
You won't forget as long as you concentrate on the loved ones that are depending on you. And the ones they've taken from you. The human heart can be as hard as steel. The enemy can wipe clean your mind, take everything else away from you. But as long as there's a place in your heart that remembers who you are, it'll do them no good.
Bold soldier boy, you leave your home and hearth today. The lass you love.
Song.
You see, Blade, you do remember.
There is no joy when sweethearts roam so far away.
Pegasus, you know it too?
O'Rourke wished me to store this melodic sequence in my memory matrix.
Leave it to Miles to make machines sing.
Something big's coming. Watch yourselves, lads. Run out and prepare to fire. Angela, you stay in the rear. Pegasus, to me, now. Open your lights. Not yet. Let us handle it. Faith in Pecora is the biggest one I've ever seen. Fire! Oh, one's the mother of all spider crabs. Electro-Dart squad, forward. Fire! The electro-darts aren't detonate. All right, switch to blasters and aim for the area around the darts. If we can hit just one, that will set them all off. Follow me, lads. Wait, not too close. Fire! Get out! Hey, open the airlock chamber.
Okay, let's see how tough you are.
Gonna take a lot more than that to stop this thing.
Watch out.
Hang on, Blade.
Hang on, boys. On my way.
No, stay back. Angela!
Stop! What are you doing?
Not this time. You took miles of rope from me. I'm not letting you have Blade.
Watch out!
Aim for the area around the darts. If we can hit just one, it will set them all off.
Angela! No, don't!
Blade, remember me. Use me to keep the fire of your hatred burning. Never forget. Never forget.
Angela!
Are you there, Miles? Can you hear me? I'm coming, my love.
No!
Excellent. The trap worked to perfection.
What's going on?
There, I've done it. Communications are coming back online. Oh no, what is it now? That was one huge energy shockwave.
A shockwave? It's Blade.
Backfired on you, didn't it, Blade? The spider mother was so full of energy from devouring the life forces of her young that the explosion was strong enough to eliminate your friends and destroy spaceports 5 and 6. Now there is only one spaceport left. Who will get there first? This is where the game gets interesting.
Balzac? What happened? Where's everyone? Angela. If only I could have saved her. But maybe she's at peace now. Angela, I'll remember you, and O'Rourke, and all the others. And I'll remember who did this to you. I'll never forget. Never.